got to eat our words now, because we were saying this match was kind of lacking a little bit of intensity. Geez, we got intensity max with some extra cherries on top right at the end of that game. South Africa getting through with 1 ball to spare. David Miller doing the job. Couple of big sixes in the last over. 23 not out with 13. Yes, it's been a while since you saw that Killer Miller tag when he was playing for Punjab all those years ago. Today, well, you saw a bit of killing in the end. He killed Sri Lanka's dreams, hopes, and aspirations, which Hasaranga had actually brought alive with a hat-trick. Oh, it's been really exciting. This is really exciting stuff. I got no dog in the fight yet. It was such exciting stuff. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You're watching Cricbuzz Live with me, Michael Vaughan, and Dinesh Karthik. DK, geez, that was one good, proper T20 finish.
Absolutely. The beauty of this T20 comp with low-scoring games, it goes down to the wire. It's a bit like a chess game. They keep playing their moves. They keep making their moves. And right at the end, somebody just goes big. Yesterday, it was Asif Ali. Today, it was Killer Miller. And geez, it was really good to watch him play the way he did. And also, it makes a difference what confidence does and what lack of confidence is. And when I speak about that, Vanindu Hasaranga and Chamira standouts got picked for IPL for RCB now at the top of the game. On the other hand, Lahiru Kumara, who they've backed a lot for sheer pace, but just shows he didn't trust his Yorker, nor his slow one. And, he got pummeled at the end by Killer Miller.
Yeah, Michael, the old saying, right? In the arc, out of the park.
Yeah, and I think they didn't show the pitch map, but usually they have those zones and it says slot. And 2 of those deliveries were right in the slot. He went for the Yorker. You've got to be so good at the end to really nail the Yorker under that amount of pressure. I was surprised Sri Lanka didn't go to slow balls into length. That's all in hindsight, but tremendous striking. Killer Miller did it for Yorkshire many years ago. He got them to a T20 finals day, nearly won them the T20 Vitality Blast on his own. We haven't seen it of late, but sometimes when you see a player do it like Asif Ali for Pakistan yesterday, it kind of almost reminds everyone in that engine room that it can be done. And I just wonder how much Miller got from Asif Ali yesterday. He had to do it today for South Africa to stay in the competition, and they're right back into this T20 World Cup with that striking. Rabada as well, that 6 in the 19th, that was massive. That was a huge kind of momentum shift in the game. So brilliant game of cricket. Hasaranga with a hat-trick. He'll get pushed aside because his team haven't won the game, but brilliant from him. A real good game.
It was 23 of 10 on this surface with 6 wickets down. DK, the Sri Lankan bowlers really will be looking at the Sri Lankan fielding unit. I mean, they'll be looking at themselves and saying, we had this in the bag. We had it.
They did. I think up until the 18th over, they found ways to just stay in the game. The spinners bowled really well. Dasan Shanaka led very well. Just the one complaint against him, there is a bowler called Karunaratne, who bowls all sorts of slow ones, made it really hard for them. But for some strange reason, second game on the go where he hasn't finished his bowling, that also baffles me a little bit, even though I thought he led really well, kept Vanindu Hasaranga right till the 17th over, gave him at the right time. He could have easily got Miller's wicket, just a touch unlucky, bowled brilliantly. And as I say again, confidence is a brilliant, quality to have in cricket, and you gain it by, day by day, year by year, and Hasaranga is just growing in that. But yeah, I think overall, Michael once said before, I think Sri Lankan cricket is a bit in the shot in the arm, the way they've played this World Cup. After many years, they are competing in a World Cup and, pushing games right to the end, which is great to watch.
True. And Hasaranga, Michael, almost had 4 in 4.
Yeah, it was all happening around that time. But, I think Sri Lanka will be disappointed, but they don't want to be too despondent. I think, they're only 15% short. And it was probably 15, 20 more runs with the bat, one more player getting in. And with the ball, they were nearly there, just didn't quite get it right in the last 2 overs. So, yes, they'll be disappointed. I wouldn't be too disappointed if I was trying, because I think they've got the makings of a decent side that started to develop. They just need to keep going. Probably change 1 or 2 of the players that aren't quite firing from them with the bat, but there's certainly something there to work with the bowling department. So, yes, they've lost. They'll be disappointed in that. South Africa will be jubilant. I mean, won a game where, probably 2 overs in, they were going to lose it. So they'll be like cock-a-hoop in the dressing room and the Sri Lankans are below, but I don't think Sri Lanka need to be too down on themselves.
Yeah, it is. The margin of error in a T20 game is so little. And then again, one run out here, one misfield there, one ball in the slot, and suddenly the game just completely changes. But today it changed for South Africa and against Sri Lanka, which means that South Africa's now got 4 points. If you have a look at the points table here, you've got England and Australia still at 4 because they're going to play their third game now. They're playing against each other. They start playing that now. The toss has already happened. And South Africa is also there at 4 points. And the net run rate, Australia still far ahead. England still far ahead. So South Africa, they'll be happy they got the 2 points. But of course, one is so close that they haven't really done any favors to that net run rate. But let's see. Still a while before that comes into play. All right, we're talking about a margin of error. We're talking about two teams, no quarter asked, no quarter given. We're talking about England and Australia, the big game coming up from Dubai. And that's the second game being played this evening. And if Fever Pitch Saturday is anything to go by with the first game, you've got great ingredients for something absolutely mental on this Saturday night. That's what you expect from these two teams. But then again, what do I get right? I get nothing right. Right? Just when I say, oh, this game is so slow, this game becomes exciting. I say 155, it's between you guys at 140 and 145. So I should probably then, Dinesh, just say that, this game is going to be boring. Should just do the opposite, right? Should I?
You can try, but I can tell you this game is going to be nothing but boring. It's again, England have won the toss and taken the obvious decision to bowl first. So, they get the fact that they can bat with dew in and they're hoping that dew does come in, which it will. Because if it's not cloudy, it will, and looks like it's a good day. Yeah. England unchanged pretty much, so that's even better. Australia making one interesting change. Ashton Agar comes in for Mitchell Marsh, number 3.
Yeah.
He was batting at number 3. So, again, a very, very interesting decision. I think they've gone for the extra bowler. Yesterday, Pat Cummins came and said in the press conference that, the fifth bowler is going to be one of the part-timers, but now they've got a full-on bowler there as well. So, it's very interesting.
Yeah, they were kind of, not taking anything away from Maxwell and Stoinis, and they get the job done, with the fifth bowler. But now they're bowling stronger. They didn't need that much batting, Michael. Do you think this was a fair trade to make, right? Because there's a bit of a traffic jam there for 3. Maxey can do it. Then you've got Steve Smith, who's their glue. You've got Stoinis, you've got Wade. There's solid batting. And especially with Finch and Warner showing the kind of form that they showed in the last match, they're confident enough to kind of get Ashton Agar in for Mitchell Marsh.
Yeah, they've gone for what they feel is the best bowler against England. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if Agar takes the new ball against Jason Roy. Left arm spin in the past has had Jason Roy in a little bit of problems. He's played better against it of late, but I think it wouldn't surprise me if Australia are going to use Ashton Agar right at the top against Roy and Butler. It's an intriguing contest. England, Australia. It's the biggest game of cricket in the world. I know you guys think that one against Pakistan, India is quite big, but this is the biggest without any question. Australia have just started to get on a roll. They've just started to find a little bit of form in the World Cup. They've got one or two of their better players obviously in form. I think Maxwell is a massive key. He was terrific in the IPL. On these wickets, I do think most teams feel that they can bowl to that batting unit with spin. And I think Maxwell is the one that they really fear because they know that Maxwell can hit any spinners out of the ground. And on a given day, he can hit probably 40 balls for 80 plus because he's that strong. But I do think against Australia, most teams will feel that they can do some damage with the spinners. So we'll have to see how that goes tonight. But an intriguing contest. It's not often that, in white ball cricket, you get two teams that are playing very well at the same time. You've got two teams in fine form, 2 out of 2. Most of the players are in good form, so we're in for a hot contest.
As they call a humdinger. We're in for a humdinger, aren't we? But you think, England bowling first, Dinesh, you think they're going to put Moeen Ali in front of Finch? No, that's not going to happen.
Absolutely, they will. I think Moeen Ali is bowling well. They will definitely bowl Moeen Ali, is what I feel. They could change, but I'm pretty confident they'll try and get Warner. As much as Maxey is a terrific player for them, I think Warner is also a key player. They would want to get him out early as well. And the last time that he's batted, he's got a 60. Albeit him being a little lucky with a pretty simple, straightforward catch drop by Kusal Pereira. But then he went on to score he went on to score runs and he scored it at a fair clip. And I think he played shots, which he is good at. So that would give him confidence. And the good thing about Warner is the fact that if he gets going, he's pretty consistent at scoring those runs. So it's going to be an important and very interesting tussle.
So, Michael, Finch up front is really good. He's got a good strike rate, a good average against right-arm off-spin bowling. But that's something that you perhaps then want to feed him completely, because you know that Morgan thinks like that. It's almost like he wants to turn your strength into a weakness, right? Do you think that he's going to say, yeah, Moin, are you up for the challenge? And Moin's probably going to say, he's got 200 strike rate against right arm off spin.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I'll be surprised. I mean, if Warner's on strike, yeah, Moen will bowl, but they'll try and keep the off spinner away from Aaron Finch. If Moeen Ali bowls 3 overs in the power play, England are winning the game because he's getting a wicket or two. If he gets away with 3 overs in the power play like he has, England are getting wickets and they're off to a flying start. I think Australia will try and dismantle that. They'll try and, if Moeen bowls, dismantle him out of the attack to get Owen Morgan thinking a little bit more so than he's had to. So far in this competition, Owen's had to do nothing. He really hasn't had his tactical, and he's for me right up there with the best tacticians. He really hasn't had to think because England have been so dominant and powerful. This might be the first game, and you would expect it to be the first game where he'll have to probably think a bit more. The Aussies may dismantle his strategy, but he's always got something in the back of his pocket for another kind of strategy. So it's an intriguing contest. I think both teams will try and counterbalance what the opposition have already done in the competition. England will certainly try and dismantle Zampa. They won't allow him to bowl because they'll want Aaron Finch to have to think differently in that middle period. That's why it's a great game, because you've got two really good sides that can, on their given day, really make the opposing captain's night a difficult one.
It was interesting because that both these teams, they need no motivation to play against each other. They're always pumped up. What Morgan said was that, we're really calm going into this big game. Now, the two of you know Morgan a bit, and, added advantages, you both know a little about captaincy as well. Morgan doesn't mean it, does he, Dinesh? Come on. He's just playing it. That's just his style, right? He just plays it down. But otherwise, I'm sure that the team's pretty pumped up, right?
Oh, for sure. I think they will be pumped up. They'll be very confident. Most of their batting has got a hit in, and most of them have done well for themselves. Their bowling has looked the strongest suit so far, and they've done really well at that, restricting oppositions to scores of 55 and 120. They've done a fabulous job so far. It'll be interesting if the bowling doesn't stand up, then how much will the batting counterattack this time? That's going to be the interesting tussle this time.
Yeah. But how is he? How is Morgan as a big game? I mean, you guys have played a lot of big games. You just played a final a few weeks ago. How is he leading up to a game like that?
He's very chill. He's a very, very easygoing, relaxed personality. He has one of those ideologies where he tries and keeps everything on the cricket ground till he enters that bus. Once he enters the bus, it's all fun and games. He's just relaxed. When you see him in the hotel, he's in the swimming pool or close to the beach, just getting himself a tan, like how Michael Vaughan has got in Barbados, and he's back. It's something very, very easy, relaxed. So, life is good when Morgan's around. You don't feel the pressure. And that's a sign of a good leader, when you're able to keep your cards close to your chest and absorb all the pressure yourself, and allow all your lieutenants to go ahead and do what they do best.
Interesting. Michael, you?
Oh, he's got the great skill as a captain to arrive on game day, and he can address the team and give that team the feeling that it doesn't matter. Yet the rest of the team know it does matter. It's a huge game. They all know that. I've always said at the highest level that you're under enough pressure from yourself. You don't need any more pressure from the captain or the coaches, because you as a human being naturally will feel pressure because you want to do well, you want to get a score or take wickets or keep well, field well. So the last thing you need, I've always believed, is that a captain shouldn't be forcing more pressure onto that team. As long as the players know the roles, and they will do, they all know exactly what the roles are required by them as individuals. He'll expect them to play with this fearless method. He wants them to challenge the opposition with aggression and by putting them on the back foot. And he'll be fine if you do that as a team. I'm sure he'll get more angry if you don't do that. So it's like when I said before, he'd be more happy, I think, with a batter getting out, trying to be aggressive rather than trying to be a little bit timid. And if you're being aggressive and you get out, it's like, well, at least you had a go. Can you improve upon that shot? Can you execute it better? Yes, we'll go and practice it. And make sure next time that ball's in that same slot, you play it with more commitment and maybe a bit better technical, a bit better mind, and you'll get away with it. But as long as you're being aggressive and taking the game to the opposition, I'm pretty sure you're in Owen Morgan's team. He's very, very consistent. He very rarely drops players. Once you're in his group, you're in his group. He's like MS Dhoni. You Chennai Super Kings kind of method. Once you're in, you're in. You have to do a lot to get out of the MS Dhoni method. I think Owen Morgan's very,
As
very similar to that.
captain, whenever you were leading against Australia, especially against Australia, how were the butterflies for you the evening before?
Oh, no, nervous, but nervous for any game of cricket. I always felt towards the end of my career that I wasn't quite nervous enough, and that's when my body was telling me that I was ready to retire. Nerves are special. They're great for you because, you know, it's a reminder to your body that, you know, you're ready to perform. It's then how you portray those nerves onto the pitch to play. You know, there's two kinds of nerves for me. There's a negative kind of nerve that you're fearful of failure, and there's a real positive style of nerves which is just excited about the performance. And they're the kind of nerves that I'd want from an England side. You know, just go and have a go. You know, this is the moment of your life. You know, when you're playing against Australia, there'll be a huge TV audience. There'll be a decent crowd in the stadium. There'll be a great atmosphere. You know, these are the days that you've trained all your life to hopefully go out there and perform in. So try and express yourself, enjoy it. And if you get into that position where you can be the player, I always used to say to the team, if you can be the player to make the difference and grab the headlines, go and grab them. Go and grab the headlines.
Love it. Great. Listen, people have been gagging for this game in the T20 World Cup because the last time Australia and England played was the final in 2010. That's right. They haven't faced off against each other. That's not been doing. It hasn't been one in the last 5 years anyway, but still, it was 2010 when they played. Was it Barbados, wasn't it? Where you were a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I'll give you a question for you, but I'll be Joy. Who was the man of the match in that final?
Kevin Peterson.
KP, yeah.
He was player of the tournament.
But he wasn't player of the final.
Who was man of the match in the final? No. I'll give you more clues. He doesn't play cricket anymore.
Paul Collingwood, I don't know, captain.
I'll give you another clue. Dinesh is a similar player to you. He keeps...
Phil Masters, is it?
No, getting closer. He had an eye problem.
Oh, yeah, the Keyswetter, Craig Keyswetter.
Craig Keyswetter.
Nice one.
Man of the match. I'm amazed Joy has not produced that question.
It's because it's easy, right? It's easy to have a look at the answers. Very easy to Google, right? That's why he doesn't want it. He says, "Oh, you'll just take out the 2010 scorecard of the final and be able to tell us who it is." So yeah, Joy doesn't go for those. Joy don't go for those. Joy looks for the ungoogleable, the unsearchable. That's what he finds. Obviously, they're unsearchable because you don't know what to search for, right? You read the question, you say, "I don't even know where to begin. Like, what do I search for?"
I'm not able to put Victor Trumpa and Shikhar Dhawan in one line. Their personalities are different. They look different. They just play different. They're from different eras. I'm just trying to still figure out how can both of them be in the same question and still have an answer. Oh my goodness.
We should pull that question up again in case people missed it the first time around. We should really pull that question up again. What we're talking about is Joy's question today, that Shikhar Dhawan is the last person in the list. Victor Trumpa was the first person on that list, in which Asian cricketer slots in at number 4. Not the foggiest idea. Nobody knows. Anyway, coming back to this game, of course, it's England who's won the toss, decided to bowl first. This is Dubai. Don't know what Australia will be looking at as a good score because England just got that batting lineup. Nothing seems insurmountable to them. But of course, Dinesh, for Australia, the good news is that the openers are informed. They're about, I think, 50, 60 runs away from being the most successful opening partnership in the history, or 59 runs away from being the most successful opening partnership ever. And the good thing is that for Australia, the good thing is that in the previous game, they looked like the Finch and Warner of old.
Yeah, what makes it tough to bowl to Finch and Warner? What is one person's strength is another person's weakness in that. So, it's very hard to prepare for them. Yes, they're right and left, but they also play very differently. Finch is more a front foot player. He looks to, wait on the length ball and hit it over the infield, whereas David Warner slightly on the back foot, very good with the cut and pull. Yes, if you bowl full, he'll hit you still, but very good on the cut and pull. And, I did say that Moeen Ali will open the bowling. And as I kept thinking about it, Warner is a very good player of off spin as well. In IPL, when you go through the stats, he's got one of the better strike rates as an opener against off spin. So I am very, very interested to see, are they going to bowl Moeen Ali, or are they going to throw in Rashid? That is a big option as well. They did it in India. So I do feel that maybe Adil Rashid will come in as well. But anyway, speaking about Finch and Warner, I've just drifted away a little bit. I think both of them are solid players. both like to get off to a flying start. And one of the things that I've spoken to Finch, and he said, when I get an off spinner, if I hit 1-6, I'm trying to hit 6 sixes that over for sure. It's an amazing attribute to have, and the ability to think like that and believe in that. And he's done it quite a few times in hitting 2-3 sixes in an over of an off spinner. That's why he's so hard to bowl to at times.
No pressure, yeah? Not putting any pressure on himself, is he, Michael?
No, we had him at Yorkshire, and he basically used to say to the team, if an off spinner's on, just give me the signal. Just get me down that off spinner's end. And he generally just believes that he just believes he can hit every off spinner's ball.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight, right? Just sit back, relax, and
it's just
a bit like
I'll tell you this, GK, that we keep speaking about Moeen Ali or Adil Rashid. The bowler that they'll really struggle to is bowling well, and if there's a little swing, a great chance he'll get both of them under a lot of trouble is Chris Woakes. He hits the seam, he swings it enough, and both these guys don't have too much footwork to handle that in the white ball format. At least they're looking to play shots. There's a great chance you'll get a nick off or caught at mid off. I can see that happening. If Chris Woakes bowls proper, which he will because he's bowled well last game as well, there's a great chance that he'll get a wicket up front.
Why is this game important for this group? We'll just pull up the points table once again to just show you. It's the third game for both these teams. And whoever wins this goes to 6 points and is pretty much just guaranteeing themselves a slot in the semi-final. Now, I know it's not official and it'll be a while before it does, but you're really giving yourself a leg up if you can win this game today and, kind of make sure that you secure at least one of the 2 slots in the semi-finals from this group. So definitely a lot to play for in this game. And as I said, none of them are going to take their foot off the gas. It's going to be quite an epic encounter. We don't take our foot off the gas as well here, man. We don't mess around. It's not amateur hour, man. We are going to try and guess what the scores, because we're going to go again. First one, Michael Vaughan got right with his guess. We're going to do it again. Australia batting first in Dubai. Get your guesses in, gentlemen. Get your guesses in. Thought.
I'll go 165.
165. Go big or go home. Nice.
I was just going to say that. I'm going to go 155. I was just going to say 165 though.
Yeah, I'll go 175 then. Come on. Let's spread it. Let's spread it a little bit.
That'll be a game on.
We need one. We need a high scoring game on. And today is going to be the one. If it isn't, then I am giving you money back guarantee. So give me the money. I'll give it back to you later. All right. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. Big thanks to Michael Vaughan and Dinesh Karthik. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. And thank to all of you joining us from all over the world on this lovely Saturday evening. We're going to see you in just a bit. Thank you for watching Cricbuzz Live.